sound.
I love you, Poppy.
Hey V, line them up.
Hey everybody, welcome back to another video. If you caught my first video, you know that I am going to be doing gaming on this channel, but the main focus of this video isn't actually going to be gaming, or at least not just gaming. I'm making this video to mainly talk about the future of this YouTube channel, what I want to do with it, what my goals might be, and just to give a general schedule of how I want to do things. So to begin, overall, how do I see this channel? Mainly as a hobby. Obviously, I don't want to be like a full-on YouTuber, but I kind of am becoming one. So with that being said, I guess that leads me to what kind of content do I want to make on this channel? Well, obviously the main thing is going to be gaming, but I'm also going to be doing discussions, debates, sort of my take on what's going on in the world of comics and anime and things of that nature, and that's going to be pretty much it. Obviously, if I make more Dokkan videos or other games or discussions, they're all going to be in their own separate playlists. And if I do any videos with anybody in the future, I'm going to include their social medias and YouTubes in the description and things of that nature and whatnot. So what is my goal for this channel? Well, I don't really expect to blow up, especially not with doing what I'm doing, which is just mobile gaming. Obviously, there are very popular mobile gamers, but I don't really see myself becoming like a super crazy popular mobile gamer or just gamer in general. But if that were to happen, then cool. But overall goals, I guess my first real goal realistically would be to hit 50 subscribers, 100 subscribers, somewhere around there. And I guess this leads me to my last big major point before we get into the actual meat and potatoes of this video, which will be my schedule. So the plan starting Monday will be the schedule will basically be this. Starting Monday, Mondays, Wednesdays, and Fridays will be sort of anime related days, so I might play like a Dragon Ball game or a Naruto game, or I might do discussions and reviews and give my take on topics regarding anime. And then this will leave Tuesdays and Thursdays to be more comic book related, in the same nature of the anime days, just comic books instead. And the weekends I'm not going to upload at all. Obviously, yesterday, which was Thursday, I did take a day off just because I was busy sort of planning out how I wanted to approach this video and just had other stuff going on in general. So basically, that is pretty much it for what I have to say about, my channel overall, the content I want to do, goals for the channel, how I see the channel, and what the schedule is going to be for the channel. And so that's pretty much it. So now we can get into the actual meat of this video, which is the new Nuova Shenron review. Alright, so now that we've got the intro out of the way, we can finally get into the meat and potatoes of this video, which is in fact the new units from this update, specifically Nuova Shenron. Now, this guy is obviously a support type unit. He is Super Fizz, and he has come out with the brand new Super Saiyan 4 Gogeta. Now, honestly, not gonna lie, when this guy was confirmed to be the unit coming out with Super Saiyan 4 Gogeta, I was a little skeptical. especially since this guy is a direct replacement for the old Nuova Shenron, who was a solid support for the Shadow Dragon Saga category. And not only that, but he also had recently gotten an Easy A, which just made him that much better. But we've got this guy to showcase for you today. I have him on this Shadow Dragons Saga team. This isn't obviously the most optimal Shadow Dragons Saga team you can run. You could throw the Super Saiyan 4 LRs on here, and instead of the old Super Saiyan 4 Gogeta, which I have on the team right now, you can obviously throw the new one on there. Before we get into the actual showcase of him in battle, I'm going to do two little runs with him. First, we have to talk about his stats and whatnot. So obviously he is Super Fizz, so you'll be able to run him on mono Super Fizz teams. However, I would advise against it since, according to his passive, he's mostly just going to be buffing Shadow Dragon Saga category. He raises attack for 3 turns on Super Attack and Seal Super Attack, so he's going to be fairly solid for SBR, although I wouldn't expect too much from him. He has attack and defense plus 140%, an additional attack and defense plus 40%, and a high chance, or 50%, to have a critical attack when there are extreme type enemies. So he's obviously going to be good against any sort of villains or anything like that, sort of like the transforming AGL Bardock. He gets Ki plus 2 and an additional attack and defense plus 40% when there are Shadow Dragon Saga enemies. And Shadow Dragon Saga Superclass allies get plus 40% defense. Now, if this were for all Superclass allies, then I would say that he is like super duper solid, and you definitely want to run him on as many Superclass teams as you can, because 40% defense is a lot. Not only that, but even if he were just all Shadow Dragon Saga allies, that would still help a lot, because you could run him along Shenron, you know, Omega Shenron or Sen Shenron, and things of that nature. But today we're going to be testing him on this team. Along with him is going to be the Easy A Omega Shenron. Now, obviously, Easy A Omega Shenron is a villain, so he's not going to be getting all of the buffs possible from this guy. But I still think he fits well on the team, and he's still probably one of the most solid units you can run on this team. As far as the rest of the team goes, they're going to be getting buffs. And we're going to be testing him in 2 different events. To get started, we're probably going to test him in the Legendary Goku event, just to see how he does neutral along with everybody else. Then I'm going to test him out on the Omega Shenron event, just to see what he can do with those bonus buffs against Shadow Dragon Saga enemies and extreme type enemies. So we're going to hop into the Legendary Goku event and get started. Alright everybody, we're back and we are now in the Legendary Goku event. Thankfully, the brand new Super Saiyan 4 Gogeta is a 170 Shadow Dragon Saga lead, so I didn't have to waste too much time trying to look for a lead. Now, keep in mind that before we, make any sort of assumptions or jump the gun on this Nuova Shenron, he is entirely level 1. I didn't try and take any time to level up his links at all, so he's full level 1 links, and we're just going to be seeing mostly what he can do for this team overall. Most of this team isn't really level 10 links either. Immediately, right off the bat, he has what looked like about 800k damage Nothing crazy. I do want to try and get him on a rotation with either the new Super Saiyan 4 Gogeta or Omega Shenron to see what he can do with them directly. I didn't bother to check this friend unit's links at all, so he could be rocking full level 1 links for all we know. Alright, there we go. So basically what we're trying to see here is we're really trying to see his full passive take effect. Now, we are going to be able to see him raise attack, and it is a 3-turn attack buff, so I do believe that it stacks, so that will be interesting to see. We aren't, however, going to be able to see him seal any super attacks, at least not in this event, because you can't seal any of Goku's attacks. We do have to remember that for Shadow Dragon allies, he gives a 40% defense buff, but this is only to super class Shadow Dragon allies. Right now, he seems to be linking pretty well with what looks to be Omega Shenron. I probably should have checked Super Saiyan 4 Gogeta's defense here, just to see what he's rocking. So he did raise his attack. It's now about 900,000. If you were to get dupes for this dude, I probably would recommend that you maybe get either crit or additionals. That way you're making the most out of his passive. And just the fact that he can raise attack for 3 turns. Getting those additionals will be very clutch, especially since they'll stack. The old Super Saiyan 4 Gogeta, another unit that I haven't really gotten to full level 10 links, and you can obviously tell he's not really tanking the best. Now, I didn't really have the opportunity to look at any of Nuova Shenron's other categories, so I don't entirely know if this... I mean, obviously this is probably the best team you'd be able to run him on. Which, by the way, quick side note, he is rocking about 75k defense, which obviously isn't that much at all. So with that in mind, you know, he ain't really packing that much defense, I guess is what I should say. Although I can clearly see that him raising attack does stack, which is good to know, and definitely allows me to double down on my statement, which is where, yeah, if you get dupes for this guy, definitely go full additional, maybe crit, considering that you do want him to do as much damage as possible. I'm not going to get too deep into this event. I just wanted to see how he can do on a surface level. I think we'll go one more rotation of just seeing how he functions in a sort of defensive position. And then we'll switch over to the Omega Shenron event just to see how he does there. And obviously Omega Shenron still good. We actually might be dead here. Nope, we survived. Another thing to keep in mind is that when I do these sort of showcases, I like to use no items, so that way I don't really like skew any sort of offensive or defensive buffs or just overall stats. I just like to see these characters sort of go in raw and just see how they are from a neutral standpoint. It doesn't really seem like his stacks, his attack raising for 3 turns are stacking, contrary to what I said earlier. So, something to keep in mind. I would still probably go with full additional, just because you definitely want him to be stacking at least for that 1 turn. So we're going to get the Dokkan attack here. We could have tried and maybe saved it for Nuova Shenron just to see how much damage he can do with it. Although I have him at Super Attack 10, full 55%. Yeah, he's full level 1 Lynx, but still I'd expect him to be doing a little more, especially since the support unit that just came out right before him for their own respective category team, the physical TN for the Majin Buu Saga category, is a solid support unit that is not only super solid, but also can hit like 2.5 million attack stats. So far, he's not really doing us any favors here. Here, we'll be able to see him actually tank. So, let's sort of do that. Not too bad. I did expect him to take more damage, just based off the fact that his defensive stat wasn't looking crazy at all. Honestly, though, overall, just from what we're seeing here in the Legendary Goku event, with these sort of neutral stats that he has, while linking with just any, friend unit, Super Saiyan 4 Gogeta I could find, he doesn't look all too impressive at all. He is definitely giving me vibes of the AGL Buikalo that we got with the release of the Transforming Buhan LR, which was a disappointing support unit, to say the least, right? But I think we're definitely going to hop out of this event and hop into the Omega Shenron event real quick, so let's go. Okay, so as you guys can clearly see, we are not in the Omega Shenron event like I said we were going to be hopping into. Kind of embarrassing, but I had a little editing hiccup, and so yeah, a whole bunch of footage. Literally the entire fight that I just did. Basically gone. Kind of annoying, but it is what it is, I suppose. Now, this video is already going to be long, possibly longer than the first one I put out, and I'm not trying to make these very long videos, which, I mean, when I want to show everything that I, want to show with these different units, and also talk as much as I do, because I do talk a lot, then I end up with like these 20 to 30 minute videos, and that's just not going to work. But I'll basically reiterate everything I said, and if you guys do want to see a more in-depth review of this support type unit, I am going to be link leveling him up just for that purpose alone. I'm also working on getting all of the links of Transforming Golden Frieza to level 10, just so I can show him off as well. I'm going to have a couple of different teams to run with him, and hopefully I'll be able to secure the new Super Saiyan 4 Gogeta so I can show you guys some of that. Obviously there are other videos on YouTube where you can watch some footage of these new units, already link level 10 and whatnot. So I definitely advise that you do check those out, from YouTubers such as like Nano and DeTruth and whatnot. Mostly DeTruth, DT. He makes stellar token videos. I don't know why I chose the word stellar, but But yeah, basically just to reiterate everything I said at the end, overall, as a support type unit, he's okay, right? Now, keep in mind, we do have to sort of treat him like he is, right? He is a Shadow Dragon Saga support type unit for specifically Shadow Dragon Saga, right? So we shouldn't really expect him to be, you know, having all of these insane buffs for literally every unit in the game when he is only good for Shadow Dragon Saga category teams, obviously, right? At least that's where he's going to be best support type wise. Now, on his own, there's two units that I've chosen to compare him to, and they just came out with 350 million download celebration: Fizz, TN, and AGL Buikalo, right? Now, I already made the comparison of this guy to the AGL Buikalo. I definitely think that they're very similar. I still think that AGL Buikalo is worse, but this dude, you know, as a support, he only supports one category, and yeah, this category did just get 2 units, including this guy, well, 3 units because of the free-to-play GT Vegeta, which I will also be covering in a future video sometime in the next coming days. But yeah, with, you know, it getting, you know, just these, you know, these newer sort of units, the category still isn't anything to write home about, right? The category is still sort of lacking, and even if you wanted to say that it's not lacking because you have the Super Saiyan 4 at Lars, you have EZA Omega Shenron, you have this guy, you got the new Super Saiyan 4 Gogeta. I haven't done any testing with him yet, but you have the new free-to-play GT Vegeta. Like, you do have units, you know, for this category that are good, right? However, overall, as a category, it's pretty comparable to, say, Representatives of Universe 7, which is another category that, you know, has really solid units. And if you were to just run a full team of those units, that team would clap, right? Like, it's a really solid team. However, I honestly don't really see the appeal of that team. I think in order to even run that team, you literally have to have either Super Saiyan Blue Kaioken Goku or the Go Frieza LR. And not many people are rocking those, right? Now, we are seeing Super Saiyan Blue Kaioken Goku on a lot more banners, and, you know, I mean, just with this Turles banner that just dropped alone, you could summon and possibly get lucky and get Go Frieza. So they're not impossible to snatch up or get your hands on, but still, not many people have these units, especially Super Saiyan Blue Kaioken Goku. So yeah, that category is also lacking, but I'll save that sort of talk for another video. But basically, to just, you know, conclude my, you know, whole video, the whole point of this video, overall, support-wise, he's okay, right? For his own category team, his own team, he's pretty good as a support, right? Now, by himself, right? This is the big one. If you were to just get this unit, you don't really have any other Shadow Dragon Saga units that you can even run, so you can't really make a Shadow Dragon Saga team, but you do have Worthy Rivals units and Resurrected Warriors units, because those are also categories that he's on. So you want to know, how good is this clown by himself? He's aight. I'd say he's pretty mid. Keep in mind, I was testing him with full level 1 links, so once I get these links to, you know, all, you know, like mid, like level 5, maybe 6s, you know, or even level 10s, then he might be doing a lot more. The footage, obviously, you know, I don't have that footage anymore, but in the footage I do show that he does get his, double 40% attack and defense stack when we were in the Omega Shenron event. Because if you remember, he does get attack and defense plus 40% both when he's fighting extreme type enemies and when he's fighting Shadow Dragon Saga enemies. So he was able to get a full 80% boost to both attack and defense. Which, also he gets Ki +2 for facing Shadow Dragon Saga enemies, and he also gets a 50% chance to crit. Now, in the footage that I had where I was doing the event with him on a Worthy Rivals team, he was actually able to get upwards of about 1.4 million damage, which isn't bad, right? For having all level 1 links and being a support type unit, that's solid, right? Like, that's pretty good. I don't really have too much to complain about that, especially since he wasn't even on his own team. He was on Worthy Rivals instead of Shadow Dragon Saga. So, that could add to it, right? Add to him being decent. I'm still gonna say he's more leaning towards Buikalo rather than Tien. I will be doing a video in the sort of coming week or so where I do compare both Tien and Buikalo, or not Buikalo, but this Nuova Shenron, simply just because I do have Tien at almost full level 10 links, I believe, if not full level 10 links. So once I get Nuova Shenron closer to that sort of benchmark, I'll be able to compare the two, and I'll drop a whole video on that, right? Where I'll sort of have like side-by-side comparisons of them on the same team, because they both are in the Worthy Rivals category. So I can run them both in place of each other, both being super fizz support type units that can be run on that team. So look forward to that. I might do that video Monday, or I might drop a sort of discussion video where I give my take on some popular sort of fictional character debates, I guess I should say. To give a quick example, Batman versus Superman, except they're going to be more anime related, and I'm basically going to give my takes on who I think would win, different ones that people from my Instagram submit to me, and I'm going to make a video on that. So that's going to be a little bit of a different video. Expect more discussion videos in the future. I really do like discussing and sort of giving my take on things having to do with like comic books, anime, and just stuff of that nature. So I'm definitely going to try and do stuff like that. Also, keep an eye out for Tuesday, which is going to be a comic book day. I think I'm going to play some Marvel Future Fight for you guys. So that's going to be cool. Look forward to that. I know if you are watching this video or these videos overall, because I'm playing Dokkan, you might not be as interested in Marvel Future Fight, but it'll be a great way to get to people who may not know too much about the game, sort of into the game. Right now the game is in sort of a crisis, so having as much support for it, would be, great, right? And I think that will just about do it. Final thoughts on Nuova Shenron as a support type, keeping in mind what he is supporting, he's good, right? Just good. A solid 6 out of 10. By himself, with just, level 1 links, I can definitely see the potential for growth. Getting him full level 10 links, I can definitely see where he would probably be putting out maybe like 2 mil attack stats, maybe, especially with the fact that he does raise attack for 3 turns on super attack. He could be doing some nasty things in the future. I'll definitely be trying to get him full level 10 links, or as close as I possibly can, before next week. so that way I can compare him to Tien, because I think that'll be a really cool video. And yeah, I think that's gonna be about it. I hope you guys enjoyed this one. If you did, please feel free to leave a like if you feel so inclined. Also subscribe. Even though this is my second video, I do hope to grow as a channel and get to the point where I am able to start doing bigger and better things for the viewers, right? Like overall with my content and whatnot, especially when I play games like Dokkan and Marvel Future Fight, where there are already well-established content creators on the platform for those things. It'll definitely be really great for me to sort of grow and be able to reach benchmarks and reach places where I'll be able to maybe someday collab with those well-established content creators. But that's just a goal. I don't really have a like goal or anything, so just leave a like if you liked it, right? Subscribe if you want to see or hear more of me. And I think that'll just about do it, guys. Thanks for watching, and I'll see you next week. Bye.